Hello, I'm Susanne from Die Schachtel D, and in this video I'll show you how to make this box with the divider for sewing accessories or spools of thread. You will find all of the cardboard you need in the Ziploc bag next to the instructions. We start with cardboard C, coat the narrow edge with glue and place the letter E on top. To fix the whole thing in place and make it a little more stable while the glue dries, you can use masking tape to attach the cardboard. Once the first side E has been glued, the second side E is attached to the opposite side. Now you can place the box, the unfinished box, on its side and apply glue to 3 sides, to the narrow sides of E and to the long side, and place the cardboard D on top. This is also fixed in place with masking tape. Now let's start with the division of the box. To do this, I place one of the cardboards F, which is cut from 1mm cardboard, in the box and coat 3 sides of cardboard H with glue. I then glue these in place just behind the F. To prevent cardboard F from sticking to the excess glue, I take it straight out again, move it a little further, and glue the second cardboard H in the box in the same way. We continue in this way until we have glued all 4 pieces of cardboard H into the box. Now let's start cutting out the fabric. For the cardboards A, B, and A, which are glued to a piece of fabric, we need a piece of fabric measuring 40 by 60 centimeters. We also need a strip measuring 32 by 5 centimeters. The thin cardboard F is cut with an allowance of 1 centimeter all around. For cardboard G, we need a piece of fabric measuring 33 by 25 centimeters. For the box all around, we need a long strip of fabric that is 13 centimeters high and 110 centimeters long. Now we need 4 pieces of fabric for the bars. These should measure 12 by 22 centimeters. Now it's time to glue them. We start with the thin cardboard. Coat them completely with glue very thinly so that the glue doesn't get through the fabric. Once the cardboard has been coated with glue, I can stick it directly onto the fabric. I then turn the cardboard over to see if I have any creases or bumps that I can perhaps smooth out. I do the same with the 5 pieces of cardboard F and also with the 1 piece of cardboard G. Now cut the corners of the thin cardboard at an angle and glue them around the cardboard. I coat each side individually with glue and glue the fabric in place. Make sure that the glue is always applied to the cardboard and not to the fabric, as it is easier to apply to the cardboard than to the fabric. I now do this with all 5 cardboards F, and cardboard G is also glued in the same way, placed on the fabric, and the corners beveled and glued over. Now we glue the lid, the back and the base. To do this, we coat cardboard A completely with glue again and stick it to the fabric. As a little tip, if you want to glue large pieces of cardboard, you can use a glue roller and a small glue tray to apply the glue quickly and easily. When cardboard A has been glued on, cardboard B is also coated, again completely and glued next to cardboard A. There should be a gap of 4 millimeters so that cardboard A and B can be folded over. You should always follow this sequence. I turn the cardboard over and smooth out the fabric. If there are any creases, I can now smooth them out and remove them. If metal corners are attached to the corners of the cardboard, the fabric is cut straight on the long side, which is divided into 3 parts, and at an angle on the short side. I proceed in the same way on all 4 sides, straight on the 3-part side and diagonal on the short side. If I have a fabric with a running direction, I now turn the cardboard over and make sure that the fabric runs in the right direction. This is because the strip that we have already cut will be glued to the place where cardboard A will be the lid. I put a little glue on cardboard A and a little glue on cardboard B and glue the strip to this. First, glue the fabric to the long 3-part side. At the height of the strip, make a 1 centimeter cut with the scissors and glue this centimeter to the fabric. Then we can coat the entire side with glue and glue it. Make sure that you also apply a little glue to the edge, as little as you have. And then glue the fabric in place. The edge should also be coated very well, again with your hands, so that no bulges or creases form. The fabric is now also glued to the short side. We have beveled it there, and therefore we should make sure that glue only gets where there is fabric. This can be done on both sides, and then the lid is finished. Now that the lid is finished, we can attach the metal corners. I use a rubber mallet for this. The metal corners have a front and a back. The back is divided in 2 and is in the box and at the bottom of the box. They are pushed onto the cardboard and tapped into place. For the metal corners at the bottom, the lid is turned over so that the back of the metal corner is at the bottom. This is what the finished metal corners look like. Now let's start to glue the box. To do this, first remove all the strips of masking tape. If you are using light-colored fabric, it is a good idea to erase the letters written in pencil on the cardboard with an eraser. To do this, start by applying glue to a 1 centimeter strip along the long side. The fabric is glued so that 1 centimeter of fabric protrudes at the bottom closed side and the remaining centimeters remain at the top. I spread glue on each side, lay the fabric out on the table, and fold the box over. I smooth everything out nicely and take the second side, which I spread with glue and then glue over again. When I reach the fourth side, which is another long side, I have to trim the fabric so that it is not longer than the cardboard. I pinch it a little with my fingernail and then cut it off completely at the top. Then this side is also coated with glue and glued down. At the bottom of the box, the excess fabric is simply glued around the edge. You don't have to cut anything off, just fold the fabric at a slight angle and glue it to all four sides. To glue the fabric into the box, cut into the fabric at all four corners, extending from the edge of the box right down to the cardboard, first on the long sides, then I turn the box over and cut into the second long sides down to the cardboard. In one place, I only have a short, narrow strip. I have to cut into that too, and then I can cut it off right away. Now we glue the inside of the box. We start on the long side, lay the fabric over the bars, and run our finger directly over the bar. This creates a small strip that we can easily see, and we cut the fabric into this strip. We put all the sides, which are now divided, into the box and make a pencil mark at the corners of each compartment. I cut the fabric diagonally from this point so that I don't have to glue so much fabric on top of each other at the corners. Now I can coat each side individually with glue and then glue it in place. At the top of the edge, make sure that we smooth the fabric down again. Once the sides are glued, we glue in the short sides. Here too, we make a dot at the corners, cut it off at an angle, and place the fabric inside the box. It should be cut so narrow that it doesn't stick out around the edges. That's why I make a small snip at the top of the edge and cut the fabric at an angle there. The fabric then disappears directly into the edge and is least noticeable. Now I can coat the inside of the box with glue again and glue on the narrow side. We do the same with the second side. First bevel the sides, then make a small snip at the top of the edge of the box, cut it a little narrow, and then glue it into the box too. At the top of the edge, make sure that we smooth the fabric down again. Once the sides are glued, we glue in the short sides. Here too, we make a dot at the corners, cut it off at an angle, and place the fabric inside the box. It should be cut so narrow that it doesn't stick out around the edges. That's why I make a small snip at the top of the edge and cut the fabric at an angle there. The fabric then disappears directly into the edge and is least noticeable. Now I can coat the inside of the box with glue again and glue on the narrow side. We do the same with the second side. First bevel the sides, then make a small snip at the top of the edge of the box, cut it a little narrow, and then glue it into the box too. Finally, the bars are covered with fabric. The fabric is cut to fit. I lay it on the bar once to see if it fits. Then I brush the top edge of the bar with glue. This allows me to place the fabric in the middle, glue it on top, and then I can coat the inside with glue and glue the fabric on. This is one side and then the other side opposite. Once all the bars have been glued, the box can be assembled. This is checked again. When painting the box, it is important that I use more glue this time and leave about 2 millimeters at the edge. The base should always be attached to the rear side, and the box should be glued directly to the edge of cardboard A. This should be the cardboard A that does not contain the striped fabric. Next, I glue the cardboard F to the base. I use cardboard with the fabric from the lid, but you can decide how you like it. You can also simply glue everything on. Once this has dried, apply glue to the back of the box. This time, use a little more glue so that everything sticks together well, and place cardboard B against it. Now I stand the box on its side and weigh down the individual compartments with weights so that it dries well. Finally, cardboard G is glued on. Now box Anka is finished. I hope you enjoyed watching me glue the box. If you would like to glue a box yourself, take a look at our online store.